No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Anybody can become angry. That is easy, but to be angry with the right person and to the right degree and at the right time for the right purpose and in the right way, that is not within everybody's power and is not easy. Virtue lies in our power, and similarly, so does vice, because where it is in our power to act, it is also in our power not to act. The high-minded man must care more for the truth than for what people think. All persons ought to endeavor to follow what is right and not what is established. To lead an orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting a particular way. You become just by performing just actions, temperate by performing temperate actions, brave by performing brave actions. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Happiness depends upon ourselves. Wishing to be friends is quick work, but friendship is a slow, ripening fruit. A friend to all is a friend to none. Whosoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god. Without friends, no one would want to live, even if he had all other goods. Misfortune shows those who are not really friends. We should behave to our friends as we would wish our friends behaved to us. Wise men speak when they have something to say. Fools speak because they have to say something. The more you know you don't know. Those who know, do. Those that understand, teach. For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them. Through discipline comes freedom. Where your talents and the needs of the world cross, there lies your vocation. The educated differ from the uneducated as much as the living differ from the dead. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. Learning is an ornament in prosperity, a refugee in adversity, and a provision in old age. Yes, the truth is that men's ambition and their desire to make money are among the most frequent causes of deliberate acts of injustice. We give up leisure in order that we may have leisure, just as we go to war in order that we may have peace. Happiness is a state of activity. Happiness is a quality of the soul, not a function of one's material circumstances. Happiness does not consist in amusement. In fact, it would be strange if our end were amusement, and if we were to labor and suffer hardships all our life long merely to amuse ourselves. The happy life is regarded as a life in conformity with virtue. It is a life which involves effort and is not spent in amusement. First, have a definite, clear, practical idea, a goal, and objective. Second, have the necessary means to achieve your ends, wisdom, money, material, and methods. Third, adjust all your means to that end. It is rather the case that we desire something because we believe it to be good, than that we believe a thing to be good because we desire it. It is the thought that starts things off. Whatever lies within our power to do lies also within our power not to do. Without virtue, man is the most unholy and savage, and worst in regard to sex and eating. Republics decline into democracies, and democracies degenerate into despotism. The worst form of inequality is to try to make unequal things equal. Poverty is the parent of revolution and crime. At his best, a man is the noblest of all animals. Separated from law and justice, he is the worst. A courageous person is one who faces fearful things as he ought and as reason directs for the sake of what is noble. They who love in excess also hate in excess. He who cannot be a good follower cannot be a good leader. The greatest crimes are not those committed for the sake of necessity, but those committed for the sake of superfluity. One does not become a tyrant to avoid exposure to the cold. It is simplicity that makes the uneducated more effective than the educated when addressing popular audiences. Dignity does not consist in possessing honors, but in the consciousness that we deserve them. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. He who has overcome his fears will truly be free. Patience is bitter, but fruit is sweet. The only stable state is the one in which all men are equal before the law. With the truth, all given facts harmonize, but with what is false, the truth soon hits a wrong note. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Those who cannot bravely face danger are the slaves of their attackers. It is also in the interests of the tyrant to make his subjects poor. The people are so occupied with their daily tasks that they have no time for plotting. The beauty of the soul shines out when a man bears with composure one heavy mischance after another, not because he does not feel them, but because he is a man of high and heroic temper. It is absurd to hold that a man should be ashamed of an inability to defend himself with his limbs, but not ashamed of an inability to defend himself with speech and reason. For the use of rational speech is more distinctive of a human being than the use of his limbs. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. Tolerance and apathy are the last virtues of a dying society. Bad people are in conflict with themselves. They desire one thing and will another, like the incontinent who choose harmful pleasure instead of what they themselves believe to be good. Young people are in a condition like permanent intoxication because life is sweet and they are growing. Mothers are fonder than fathers of their children because they are more certain they are their own. Men create gods after their own image, not only with regard to their form, but with regard to their mode of life. All who have meditated on the art of governing mankind have been convinced that the fate of empires depends on the education of youth. Time crumbles things. Everything grows old under the power of time, and is forgotten through the lapse of time. It is of the nature of desire not to be satisfied, and most men live only for the gratification of it. It is well to be up before daybreak, for such habits contribute to health, wealth, and wisdom. It is not enough to win a war. it is more important to organize the piece. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance.